Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time. Duke UNC film breakdown. If you're a Duke fan, I appreciate you watching this. I know it's going to hurt UNC fans if you're watching this. Congrats on your win. See you in a month. Look, film breakdowns. I took a little leave of absence with film breakdowns because YouTube last month did a copyright on all my film breakdowns that I've ever done, essentially, in the last couple of years, to where I cannot get compensated on those views. And with what I've been doing with Sleepers Media and Action Network, I get paid to talk about sports on those. If I'm not going to get paid to do my film breakdowns on my own channel, I need to spend my time elsewhere. But regardless if I get paid or not for this one via YouTube, I have to do a breakdown of Duke, Carolina. So we're going to go right into it.
Boozer. Isaiah Evans, deep range. Caleb Foster swings it. Dame Sarr with a corner three.
Dame Sarr, game of his life against UNC, and he just needs to wear a size shoe, a half size smaller, and that'd be a 3. He had 2 of those in this game, but just a really good job by Dame, who came to this game missing 13 straight threes, I think it was, and no, that was a 2. He obviously had a good night shooting the 3 ball.
Can't get the shot off over the length of Stevenson. Now he can. Gumbo with a rebound and a putback. Game in New York, Madison Square Garden against Texas Tech in a game in which you and I were there, Jerry. They led by 18. They are that close to being undefeated. Gumbo with a nice feed. Foster gets back his miss and puts.
Caleb, I love you. That's just very funny. Foster bucket there. Missed the easy one, hit the tough one. But Pat Gungba had the putback the previous possession. Should have had the assist there on that possession. And I just wanted to highlight those plays because Pat Gungba is so vital for this offense. He's so pivotal for this offense. And the foul trouble completely derailed this game for Duke. And it's led by Pat Gungba fouling out. But you were seeing how easy Duke was getting buckets with him having the ball in his hands.
Paint, and can you protect yours? Good pace in the early going. Duke with the ball and a 5-point lead just over 4 minutes in. Evans trying to shake Stevenson, drives him and lays it in.
So right there, just a simple cross screen, down screen. The shooter's going to go set a cross screen for the post player. That's what Isaiah's doing. And then he's coming off a down screen set by Pat. And then pump fake right here by Isaiah gets Jaren Stevenson to bite a little bit. And then you see the classic high rip through by Isaiah. And then Pat Gungba does a really good job of sealing off Henry Vassar here to where it's a straight line drive to the cup by Isaiah Evans. So 3 straight plays on offense. Pat Gungba was involved, and 3 buckets for Duke.
To get out in transition, but they have been unable to do so thus far.
Yeah, you got to get a stop to get out in transition. Good cut.
Another great feed. Gungba.
4 straight buckets with Pat Gungba involved. 4 straight.
He's in the game. He's going to be guarding Caleb Wilson. He's going to try to be as physical as possible with him.
One of the nation's best defensive players, Brown. Second year with Duke after a couple of years at Syracuse. Tough shot in the corner, but he hits it.
Look, Caleb Wilson had the half of his life. He was fantastic in the game, but in the first half, he was keeping Carolina afloat, and he used Malik Brown's aggressiveness against him, and that just shows how good and skilled and poised Caleb Wilson is, that you have a defender like Malik Brown on you, and you're able to get him with a quick foul before this possession, hit a tough contested shot that possession, makes a layup, I think the second one, or the following possession. Then after that, Malik Brown picks up his second foul. So just a really good job by Caleb Wilson against Malik Brown, and I'll be interested to see that matchup in round 2.
Caleb, teammate as much as Caleb Wilson. And then Hubert Davis, the nicest man in America, said, and I'll fight anybody if they disagree with that. Nicholas Himenia trying to go coast to coast. Loose ball tipped up and in. And
this game, Nick Himenia was just sped up. Just quite frankly sped up. Duke breaks his press easily. And Himenia, you got to pull this out or throw this you can't throw the lob, Jaron Stevenson's staying home, but you got to be able to finish over a smaller defender there. If you can't, you just got to pull it out.
Cam Butch now. Boozer's got a matchup advantage.
Hemenia, that may have been a lob pass into Boozer, but he turned around and wasn't expecting it. Powell for
6-point swing for a bad shot selection by Hemenia, and then we didn't see Hemenia the rest of the game after this 4-minute stretch he had in the first half. And I love Nick Hemenia. Just here, this is not the shot we want. Even with 7 seconds left on the shot clock, trying to go back. Trying to find Cam Boozer. I mean, you could throw that. Even if you can't throw the skip pass to Caden, but instead, air ball. Dan Schulman thinks it might have been a lob pass, but it wasn't. And then 3-pointer in transition the other way for UNC. And so instead of 25-13, it's now 22-16.
Evans fighting his way around the screen.
And then this is what pisses me off the most. This game, obviously what it was in the second half, UNC had 1 foul. You're letting the bigs play. You're letting physicality play. Even in the first 10 minutes, 4 fouls and 3 fouls, but a lot of things they're letting things happen. In what world is this an illegal screen? And you're calling it against the best player in the country. The best player in the country. You're calling this an illegal screen? Mind you, Caleb Wilson and Henry Vassar, they had 1 combined foul. 1 combined foul. We'll get to Henry Vassar in a second. But this right here, that's an illegal screen? That's an illegal screen. Is it because he murdered him? It's the Reno 911 meme. I was murdered. Well, just egregious. What are we doing? What are we doing? That's not going to be called in Cameron. I'll tell you that much.
Boozer called for the offensive foul.
I mean, look at Shire. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is this not Division I basketball?
2-man game, Foster and Gungba. Foster probing.
And then that, didn't look crazy at the time. The alternate angle, the other angle, he definitely pushes Caleb Wilson in the back a little bit. But again, now, because of that first foul, this is now 2 fouls in 1 minute for Cam Boozer. And, he does shove Caleb Wilson. And it's just frustrating that that's now a second foul instead of his first foul. As a fan of my favorite team, in 1 minute, the game kind of flips to where Cam Boozer is all of a sudden in foul trouble.
Great recovery by Seth Trimble on that drive attempt.
Gungba wide open, misses the 3. He's 29% on the season from out there. Trimble.
And then Pat Gungba starts getting in foul trouble, and this is because Isaiah's got to stop ball here. I'm not sure what the effort is here, but Isaiah straight up, and Seth Trimble just sees that and goes right at him, and it's just a blow by, and Pat Gungba's reacting to it. He's trying to wall up Seth Trimble. Seth Trimble does a really good job of going into the body of Pat Gungba. Now he gets 2 free throws, and Pat now gets, I think that's his first, maybe second foul of the first half.
Hampson's team.
And Kentucky going with those denim uniforms that they wore back in 1996 under Rick Pitino when they won the national championship. Mark Polk was on that team. Those things are so cool.
Duke's lead down to 2. Gungba 1 on.
Tell me that's not a foul. Just, you got to let him land, and you're bumping him. And then you hit his arm. We're hitting his arm.
With Vassar, wild.
I've seen a lot of Pat Gungba shots in my life. A lot. All of them, actually. All of them. I have never seen him miss a hook shot. Foul. Never seen him miss a hook shot this bad. I mean, what? We're calling illegal screens, and we're calling touch fouls, and then we're letting that go. I mean, it's whatever. If you're a UNC fan, yeah. Am I complaining? Of course I am. It's a rivalry. My team lost, and I thought we got hosed by foul calls. Again, the whistle in Cameron is going to be hilarious.
Little diamond floppy, and you get Caleb Wilson with the ball on the right side this time against Patrick Gungba.
Gungba, a good defender. Wilson kind of fading, but
What? What? What are we calling? And you know that there's no chance in hell this shot goes in. And I like Caleb Wilson, but look where his foot is pointing to. Look at that left foot. He's pointing to, who's that, Trimble at the top of the key or Dixon at the top of the key? That's where that foot's going. That's where his body's going. His body is going that way. That's not a foul. He looks like Peter Griffin in the green meme, and he gets bailed out. And now Duke's in foul trouble, as we all know, but it's a frustrating second foul to be called right there.
Trimble comes up with it.
Beautifully read by Trimble.
And beautifully read by Gungba.
And then Gungba gets this steal after Duke just got the steal, or Duke just turned it over. They get the steal, and then Henry Vassar's like, go out of bounds. That was more contact than Cam Boozer's illegal screen.
Boy, Gungba, one of the best big man defenders in the country.
Duke defending at an extremely high level in recent games. Boozer with the left, and it'll go.
Flatten out the Carolina transition defense.
Sar looked like he was kind of laughing at himself, Jay, on his way back up the court. It's the second time he's tried to take a three, but has had a two on the line. So on the line.
And now Pat Gungba picks up his third. Shire wanted some illegal screens in the game, and I think this was one of them where it felt like Caleb Wilson. Yeah, he's leaning early. Just late. Again, called it against Cam Boozer. Nothing. Look, Shire's just like this on the sideline, but that's not the point of this clip. The point of this clip is, Dame, you can't cheat this. You can't go for this steal, but though he did go for this steal, Pat, I know you want to be a shot blocker. You have two fouls. Just let him have one of his dunks and let the crowd roar, but Duke needs you in the last 6 minutes. Instead, you pick up foul number 3 and have to sit the rest of the first half.
Wilson potentially on his way to a huge night. He's got 15 points already. Evans wide open as the Blue Devils. Another great class coming in next year, including Cameron Williams, a 6'11" forward from Phoenix. I mean, think back to your first time playing in this building as a freshman. No, you were a senior in this building, right?
Yeah, it's a really good stunt here by Isaiah on this screen, on this action that has Cam Boozer and Malik Brown confused. It looks like they want to switch. So I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. But Cam Boozer is showing to Derek Dixon with Dame Sarr already guarding Derek Dixon. Jaren Stevens is wide open. Hell of a stunt by Isaiah to show that much to where it makes Jaren Stevenson think about it. He takes that little timid step off rhythm. Really good help side defense by Isaiah right there.
By the freshman from Atlanta, Georgia.
Wilson leads the Heels in scoring, rebounding, steals, and blocks. Boozer leads the Blue Devils in scoring, rebounding, steals, and assists. Both of them freshman.
If Dame can be this guy for Duke, holy hell. If he can be a legit 3-and-D guy, holy hell.
Boozer to play without picking up a third foul here in this half, and they have rewarded that trust. Caden Boozer knocks down a three.
Just a great job of creating space out of nothing. Why is it not going farther back? There we go. Caden Boozer. I mean, it's hard to throw this post entry because Jaren Stevenson's trying to bait Caden Boozer to throw this bounce pass so he can go steal it, as Henry Vassar has Cam Boozer near the 3-point line. But look at Malik Brown pointing to Caden Boozer. Hey, throw it over here. I'm going to set him a screen. He does that. Jaren Stevenson runs into the screen. Wide open three for Caden Boozer. Duke's now up 41-29 going into halftime.
Late in the first half, Hubert Davis likes his team's offense, but talked about defense, rebounding.
Tough shot. You live with that, though. Tough shot, but you live with it.
Toughness, 50.
Their end after Caleb Wilson got that steal and Carolina got out in transition.
If you're Carolina, don't you have to get Henry Vassar going somehow?
Yes.
A very quick Trimble.
I don't know why that's in there. My fault.
Underneath the kick. Stevenson in the corner. And Boozer the rebound. Nice outlet to Sarr.
Sarr had a fabulous first half. 10 points, 5 rebounds, and his defense was outstanding.
Did not miss a shot from.
That's not the one. That's not the one. I mean, look at Shire. Shire's like, really? Every possession in this rivalry matters, and we're going to shoot this. We're going to shoot a logo 3 on a hesitation with a contest with 22 seconds left on the shot clock. No.
Can be so helpful defensively. He's tough to shoot over.
Stevenson could not get it over the rim, and here comes Boozer. Numbers for the Blue Devils. Right into the chest of Vessar.
I don't know why it lagged a little bit right there, but the previous possession that's not clipped, Boozer felt like he got fouled against Henry Vesar, and it was a no call. He probably should have made the layup, but regardless, he's making sure this time he was going to go running right through Henry Vesar, and he runs right through his chest. Again, wall. He goes right through the wall, and I just feel like that's contact. Regardless, Kane Boozer makes the layup. It is funny. I did my research. Henry Vesar has never had a game. He's had one game in his 3-year career, his 3-year college career, where he's had 0 fouls. And in that one game, he had 8. Actually, let me re-say that whole thing. Henry Vesar, when he's played 5 or more minutes in his career, before this game, had 0 fouls in a game. One time. And that was when he played 8 minutes his freshman year against Tennessee. In this game against Duke, he had 0 fouls. He's the best defender all of a sudden of all time. 3 out of the last 6 games before this game, he had 4 or more fouls. Make it make sense.
Ball from a skip pass from one side to the other and beat the shift of the Carolina defense.
Sarr has had his ups and downs this year, has struggled sometimes offensively, but this is the best of Sarr here in this game. Trimble, follow.
Now, this is where the game completely flips. Pat Gungler just picked up his 4th foul at the under 16 timeout. Duke's up 11, 49-38. But Seth Trimble's obviously going to the line coming out of the break, so it's really going to be like 49-40 because I think he makes both. But just be mindful of that as we watch the score.
Foul on the Blue Devils.
Rebound.
Vesar still has not scored in this game.
Well, he's got Caleb Foster on him now. He needs to get the ball.
He is calling for it. He gets it. Draws a crowd and hits.
Now Vesar scores because Pat Gungba is all on the bench. And again, this is – I know I'm nitpicking, but how is that not – look at – just giving Caleb Foster just – what are we doing? I don't know, dude. I'm still not over it. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. But, again, Henry Vesar finally gets on the board because Pat Gungba is on the bench.
Stevenson switches on to Boozer. Turnaround. No. Carolina ball.
A good defense by Stevenson. What a pass.
And it'll go for Stevenson.
So 49-38. Now all of a sudden it's 49-44 because Pat Gungba picked up his 4th foul. And, Duke is vulnerable in transition defense. And it's happened a couple of times in this game, and it happens right there at a big moment.
Stevenson, Dixon the assist. And more of a catch-and-shoot guy last year, and he can still drain a 3. But Jay, much more likely to take it to the basket this year than he was a season ago.
Well, he got Vesar to switch off because he slipped that ball screen, and Carolina going inside. Well, this is where North Carolina playing at home needs a stop. And with Vesar guarding him, Boozer's going to be out top in the middle third.
Boozer driving and...
I mean, look at Shire. Sorry. Look at Shire. He's going down the damn sideline. That's a foul. That's a foul. I mean, it's just, it's funny looking back. But good job. He rejects the screen here. Just body bump, just grabbed by Vesar. Should have been an and one. And Shire's just going down the sideline. Like, that's a foul. Probably said an F-bomb in there as well. But anyways, we move.
He's going to try to drive Vesar every opportunity.
Knocked away by Sarr. Numbers for Duke. No look to Boozer for the slam.
I don't know about you, but I celebrate every time Dame Sarr has the ball in transition and he makes the right decision, the right play. Not going to lie, I always get nervous. This makes me nervous. It's 3-on-1, but it makes me nervous. And then when I saw that no-looker, I was like, oh, Dame Sarr's feeling himself. He is feeling himself, and rightfully so.
Boy, Dame Sarr, his defense on the ball has been excellent.
Wilson, it'll go.
But again, Duke just scored a monumental momentum type of thing where you pick the pocket, you score an easy layup, but then you give up a layup off a made basket. That's tough. You can't celebrate that basket too quickly because it went from a 9-point game to a 7-point game in, 3 seconds?
Up and down. Wilson averages 20. He's got 23 already tonight. The lob and the finish.
It's a hell of a pass by Malik Brown.
Brown's finish.
He gets a lot of his own misses. That one was blocked. But still he's able to pivot around and get that to go.
Dixon. A lot of contact, but no.
One of the weirder sequences of any game that I've seen. I thought it could have been a 5-second call here. Again, this is my Duke bias showing, but Caleb Wilson not be able to throw the ball in. It felt like that was 5 seconds, or damn near. But regardless, this is crazy that this was not one call or the other. I swear if he would have missed this layup, though, they would have called this a blocking foul. Like, I think the ref was waiting to see if that ball goes in or not. And if the ball would have been out, he would have called it a blocking foul. And honestly, I'm fine with the no call than anything because I just know it would have been a blocking call and Cam Boozer would have been now in the game with 3 fouls at the 11:42 mark, maybe even 4 fouls. I forgot how many fouls he had at this point. But I just don't think Duke was going to get that charge. I think it was a charge. Do not get me wrong. But I think the way the game was being called, obviously, I thought they would have called that a block.
In the second half than they did in the first half.
Well, they've had a hit-first mentality in this second half that Duke put on them in the first. Better pressure on the ball in the second half for Carolina, made passes more difficult. Here comes the double.
Boozer, a terrific passer, but he turns it.
Okay. We've seen Boozer get doubled a lot of times in the post, right? But this is where you got to have better feel if you're everybody involved. You got to cut right away. Somebody has to move. He's getting doubled by 2 7-footers, essentially. He can't throw that pass to Isaiah. There's no way. Like, Caden has to show more to his brother, like step more down the 3-point line. Caleb's going to flash, but Caleb needs to flash. Caleb needs to flash or cut immediately. Now he's going, and Caden, I don't know why he's backing up to Caleb because now he gives his brother no option. Now he comes to the ball, but it's too late. Cam's freaking out because it's been about 3 seconds and nobody is showing to the ball. So he knows deep opposites normally open if nobody else is. But at that point, Seth Trimble just picks it off. Duke has to do a better job of, and they've done a good job all year, but they have to do a better job here of going right away. When Caden throws that pass, I would have cut because Derek Dixon has his back turned to you. He's looking at your brother Cam, cut. And then it's a give and go. Instead, we're standing around. Everybody's standing. Caleb finally cuts, but it's too late. It's too late. Got to help out your best player.
Evans wide open. And
Isaiah's got to hit these, man. Got to hit these. Got to hit these. Miscommunication between Derek Dixon and Luka. Dixon staying with Caden. Luka thought they were switching. It's a wide open shot for Isaiah Evans. You got to hit that shot. Got to hit that shot.
And Carolina catches a break-point lead.
They're going to continue with Boozer setting that screen up top. Got the switch again. Now he's got Bogobots on him.
Caden to Cameron, brother to brother. Cameron to Boozer driving.
I mean, look. Luka Bogovac is going to knock Cam Boozer to the floor, and we're just going to say, hey, incidental contact. We know what UNC's weight room's like. It almost killed Seth Trimble. So I know Luka Bogovac is not in there doing the same amount of reps as Cam Boozer. That's a foul. Point blank period. And that's a bad shot by Isaiah.
Down with it, Dixon.
Outside of Seth Trimble, Carolina's guards haven't really gotten anything going on the offensive end.
Evans draws a crowd. Got Wilson in the air, but couldn't hit it. And the foul call.
And now Pat Gungba fouls out. Duke's up 7 with 6 minutes and 18 seconds left. And again, I just don't think this is a foul. There's 5 total fouls in this game in 14 minutes. And we're going to call this a foul because Henry Vasar is fragile. He's fragile. We're going to call this. Isaiah forcing it up. Just 2 guys going for the basketball. Just whatever, dude. Whatever. But Pat Gungba now fouls out. 6:15 to go. Duke's without the guy that was so good at the beginning of this game where Duke was up like 14-5 right away because of Pat Gungba's offensive rebounding abilities, his finishing abilities, his passing abilities, his defense abilities. Henry Vasar did nothing with Pat Gungba guarding him, and now he's out of the game.
We'll take Caleb Wilson.
John Shire basically has used 7 players tonight. Jimenez only played a little bit, and Darren Harris hasn't played at all. And now Gungba's out of the game. Wilson one-on-one with Brown.
Remember, he's got great hands.
Sarr knocks it away. Shot clock at 7. Dixon got it.
I don't know what Dame Sarr is doing right here. Really good job at the start of possession. Deflected the ball on the pass because he's crowding Caleb Wilson. I don't know why my damn StreamYard is trying to lag right here. This is great. This is great defense by Dame Sarr. Great positional defense by Dame Sarr. He's playing the passing lane. He's playing the gap. He's making Caleb Wilson second guess what he wants to do with the basketball, and it leads to a deflection. That's good defense. Do not go any farther than where you are right now. Why are you going over here? Because Caleb Wilson is picking up that dribble. He does not have good handles at all. And now you're bailing him out on a trap and leaving your guy for a wide open 3 with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, 7-point lead. And now it's 4 because you're leaving your assignment. You're being too aggressive here. Don't be that aggressive. Don't go trap that because now you're leaving the shooter open, and just gave them the cleanest look after 27 seconds of great defense.
Knocked away by guess who? Malik Brown. It's a scrum, and it's Duke ball. And Caden Boozer will lay it in.
Great job by Malik Brown here. Swiper keeps swiping. It is very funny looking back at this game, or looking back at this play, where Shire's begging for a timeout. He's begging for a timeout here, and the ref just doesn't give it to him, doesn't hear him. So not right there, but right here. Look, timeout. He wants a timeout. And he's like, hey, we have the ball. Why are you not giving me the timeout? And then he stops. Oh, that's good stuff. And good take by Caden Boozer.
But give Malik Brown all the credit in the world.
Just put his head down, got to the middle of the lane, and a great left-handed jump hook.
Double on Boozer. Cross-court 3 for Sarge.
All right. Dame had to eventually miss one. I hate it was that one, but he missed it. And it's a great read by Cam Boozer. And as I criticized his teammates not moving when he got double-teamed the last time he turned it over to Seth Trimble, look how Malik Brown immediately cuts. His guy leaves to go trap. Now Malik's cutting. Caden was going to go cut, but him and Malik are now, going into each other. But even with those 2 guys cutting onto each other, it leads to confusion for UNC's defense to where they're leaving a wide open shooter in the corner. Wide open shooter. Dame just misses it. Great read by Cam, but Dame just missed the shot.
They just got to stop. Now they need another one.
Inside 4 minutes to go.
Now there's a switch. Trimble on Cameron Boozer trying to front him with Vesar behind.
Round for 3. Offensive rebound. Boozer.
Great offense rebound by Boozer. Malik shooting this 3. People ask me what I think about these threes, and for the most part, I like them. Here, it's tough, right? Because it's a 4-point game. Malik, that's not his strength, but what else is he supposed to do in the situation? Maybe wait for high-low, but still that's asking too much. To where I would say my quick answer would say use that negative space between him and Vasar as positive space for him. Dribble into a player, so maybe not even at Vasar, but maybe dribble at Caleb Wilson and then hand the ball off to Caden Boozer, or dribble over to Caleb Foster, hand it off to Caleb Foster, to where Caleb Foster has Vasar on him if they switch this, instead of conceding for an open three at the top of the key that he's made 3 of this season. Like Cam Boozer gets the offense rebound and Duke gets 2 points out of this. But with Malik Brown and Pat Gongba feeling obligated to settle for these, thinking about it a little bit, I would use the space around them to get others involved, and it would still create some chaos for the defense.
For 3. Offensive rebound. Boozer sticks it back in.
Well, I don't think you want to keep this one foul if you've got the opportunity. You don't want to give Duke anything easy, so they can be really aggressive. They just don't want to foul on a shot.
Evans could not get enough time to get a look at a 3. Inside 3 minutes to go. Sarr the extra pass. Foster the shot fake drive and the finish.
Boy, what a corner.
Great take by Caleb Foster. This is just Isaiah's a little bit in his head too. To go back here is how many times we've seen Isaiah come off of this in his career and not think about it and shoot this in rhythm. This is a shot for him. That's a clean look. It's a clean look. That's what it's kind of designed for. Instead, he hesitates because Jaren Stevenson's size was in Isaiah's head a little bit. So he is, he's contemplating things. He's hesitant a little bit. And then he's so hesitant, he almost throws this ball away. And Cam does a good job. Now he's surveying the floor, finds that space. One more by Dame. Nice reverse layup by Caleb Foster. But I just think that Isaiah Evans he had 14 points. He struggled from the field 4-14, and I think that's credit to Jaren Stevenson's length on the perimeter.
And that opened up that baseline drive, and Caleb Foster just went to the other side of the rim to avoid that shot getting blocked.
They'll run some offense through Vasar. Boozer's so strong, stands him up, forces him to give it up. Dixon with a 3.
I honestly think this was the play of the game. I know Seth Trimble hit the game winner, but Duke wins this game, in my opinion, if they get a stop right here. 6-point possession, 2:30 to go. Throw it over, and Cam he stands straight up right here. Stands straight up. And now Derek Dixon can walk into this 3 because Cam is playing too far off. It's not completely drop coverage, but it's damn near drop to where he can't contest this. Derek Dixon hit 2 threes, 2 big threes in certain times in the second half for UNC. And if he would have missed that 3 and Duke got the rebound, it would have been 68-62, 2:24 left. Duke wouldn't have taken another shot attempt until under 2-minute mark. And, it could have been a good look. We will never know. But this right here is, as much as I want to blame officials and blame the officials, and maybe Cam Boozer got fouled at the end of the game and Seth Trimble hit the game winner, this right here was the 3 of the game for me in terms of momentum. Just this kind of what Boogie Flan did against Duke. And luckily, Duke's Isaiah Evans hit the game-winning shot, but Boogie Flan hit a 3, kind of similar to that where Pat Gongba was in drop coverage and he stepped into one and hit a 3 to go up 3. Or 2. So it's just it's frustrating to see that, letting a guard walk into a 3 like that.
Evans the drive on Stevenson, no, and Vasar another rebound.
I don't know if I like that shot right there. I know it's a layup around the rim, but it still was kind of a low percentage layup based off of how Jaren Stevenson was playing Isaiah throughout the game.
Hubert Davis leaping in the air as he calls out a play on the sideline. Vessar ties it.
Like, I love you, Malik. You're my favorite. You're my favorite. I love you, Blue. But you got to get your hand up out there. He shoots 46% from three. Why are you going out there like there's 1 minute into the game? You got to have a sense of urgency. This guy shoots 46% from three. 46% from three, and we're trotting. We're trotting. Why? 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 Duke the Bigs just killed him on those back-to-back possessions, giving up threes. Oh, God. And I know they're probably tired because Pat Kung was fouled out 7 minutes ago. Oh, but you got to get out there and contest.
.68, a minute 20 to go. Boozer the drive, the spin, no!
So, this kind of leads up to the end of the game. Everybody's asking why is Shire not doing the ghost screen action he's done with Isaiah at the end of the game like he's done. Well, they tried it right here, and Isaiah, again, open, hesitates, doesn't want it. So now, okay, UNC guarded it, and now John Shire's telling Isaiah, do it again, run it again, cut through, set him a screen. Isaiah's like, what? They try it again, then they get the mismatch, or their matchup, if you will, with Cam Boozer on Caleb Wilson, blows right by him, all right? And then, just fading away from the rim, good contest by Caleb Wilson, comes up empty. So Duke just tried the ghost screen twice right there. First action didn't work, tried it again. They got semi-layup, but you have Caleb Wilson's length on Cam Boozer underneath the basket, so it's a low percentage shot because Caleb Wilson is really good at contesting those.
Starts it off.
Got the switch now, Vessar.
And so now that leads us to the controversial John Shire doesn't run anything for his best player down the stretch. I went 5 seconds too far. Hold on. Now we're into John Shire doesn't run anything for his best players down the stretch. And it's an easy narrative to say. It's an easy narrative to say because Duke's lost, 5 or 6 games in 2 years, and he's given the ball to his best player to make a play. But here, it's all about matchups. Everything's always about matchups. Caleb Wilson just locked up Cam Boozer on the previous possession for a low percentage twirl shot around the rim. Get him off of him. Get him off of him. How do you do that? You go set a screen with Malik Brown for Henry Vessar to guard Cam Boozer. There. This is your matchup right here. Perfect. Perfect. Picture perfect. And now we don't want any other action. We don't want to go screen with Isaiah here because Jaren Stevenson is a better on-ball defender than Henry Vessar. So we don't want Jaren Stevenson to guard Cam Boozer. We don't want it. And we've tried to run the go screen the previous possession twice, and Isaiah turned down the shot. So we're not going to do that. We want the ball in our best player's hands here. Good spacing, and go to work. Go to work. I don't hate this at all. I don't hate this at all. He gets by him, uses the body bump, and then gets him in the air. Look at the right hand by Vessar. He's pulling him down. And is that a foul? Yes. Does Cam Boozer still need to make that shot? Yes. That is a shot that I live with 10 out of 10 times. People have to stop complaining about the result of a play. You got to see the circumstances. Duke just tried the ghost screen action with Isaiah the previous possession. It did not work. At Caleb Wilson guarding Cam Boozer. Now we want Caleb Wilson off of Cam Boozer, as I said. And what do? How do we do that? We get Malik Brown to go set this screen for Cam Boozer. UNC is going to switch big to big. So now Caleb Wilson is guarding Malik Brown, and then it gives Cam Boozer the matchup Duke wants, and they get a layup attempt. Foul or not, they get a layup attempt. Layup attempt with their best player, ACC Player of the Year, had it right there on the block. Don't understand the criticism behind it. I truly don't.
Wilson Brown is on Vessar. Into Dixon. Boozer switches onto him. Dixon the kick. Trimble! Got it!
All right. I got to break down this final play. I know. Turn away. Or you should have already turned away. But good set by Hubert Davis here. And Duke's done more hedging than switching recently leading up to this game. And so I don't know what's happening at the top of the key here on this ball screen action with Caleb Wilson, with Cam Boozer and Dame Sarr with Caleb Wilson and Derek Dixon, because Dame wants to stay with the ball, but Cam is like, no, I got the ball. But honestly, Dame should have stayed on the ball the whole time. Dame should have stayed on Derek Dixon because he got over the screen with ease. Why am I not being able to pause this damn fucking thing on StreamYard? Sorry for cussing. But I've been talking for 40 minutes now, and StreamYard wants to glitch. So he's over the screen. Stay with him. Why are we switching this? Stay with them. Cam Boozer, you get back over there because you cannot guard a drive. And now Cam Boozer's beat, and then Caleb Foster is like, oh, man, he has a layup to the rim. So Caleb Foster leaves his assignment from the deep corner because Cam Boozer is blown by, so Malik Brown and Caleb Foster are scrambling. It's not ideal, obviously, because you leave a wide-open shooter in the corner, but I think it all starts at the beginning of Dame Sarr and Cam Boozer switching that created the mismatch to get downhill, because then at the end of the day, basketball is all about matchups. And all UNC did right there and I say they drew up something, all they did was get Caleb Wilson to set a ball screen on Dame Sarr, and Duke miscommunicated a simple ball screen. That's it. That's all it was. Dame Sarr and Cam Boozer, they switched this. They shouldn't have switched it. Probably like if Cam Boozer would have made the layup against Henry Vasar, Caleb Wilson would have said we shouldn't have switched it. But instead, the switch leads to an open three in the corner by Seth Trimble, and that's why UNC wins, because they were able to capitalize on a matchup and the biggest moment of the game. The game's all about matchups. UNC came through when it mattered most on that, and Duke did not. Duke is going to be fine. One foul for UNC in the second half of this game, and I looked it up, tried to find something the last time I saw that, or if it's ever happened. I have not seen a team have one foul and a half ever. And I think the fewest amount of fouls in a game in the last 20 years, like 8 or 9, and UNC had 7. And I say all that to say, if you think Duke gets calls in Cameron, oh boy, it is going to be a very funny pendulum swing of this way to this way with the foul calls in Cameron. But all jokes aside with that, Duke's going to be fine. They have Pitt tonight. They have Pitt tomorrow night. This is probably coming out Tuesday, so tonight. But look, Duke's going to be fine. They have UNC in a month, right? And they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready, and they're going to use this as fuel momentum. And the bigs will not be in foul trouble as much as they were in this game. If the bigs are on the floor for Duke, they have the edge in the front court. And we saw that with Henry Vasar being a nobody with Pat Gungbo on the floor. So Duke's fine. UNC, good team, good win. The rivalry is what it is. It's the best rivalry in sports. I've been talking for 45 minutes. I need to go get an ice pack and drink some water. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.